I want to start by thanking our friend Ed Drew and the company at large and all of us distributors for this great occasion that we've had today. Good afternoon. Wow, it humbles me a lot to stand here this afternoon because it is now 15 years from when I was a guest. How many guests do we have in the room today? Guests. Thank you so much. You have no idea about the future that you are about to start from today. In fact, I challenge you. Now don't continue praying for a better future. Start thanking God because it is starting today. Josephat Kariuki is my name, as you've heard. Married to one Pieros Cherotich. And together we are blessed with 4 children at the moment. I love being open-minded, and I believe in possibilities. Before this opportunity, I was a full-time lecturer in the university. The Catholic University of Eastern Africa is where I was teaching computer science. And my wife was a high school teacher. One would wonder, why then did we have to join this business? By the way, as Pieros mentioned, she was the target. Not that she was sick, but she was a strong candidate. And I apologize because I'm the one who overfed. When I was marrying her, she was 1 GB. But you see, the only way I would prove to my in-laws that she's not being tortured in my house, the only physical thing was to feed. And unfortunately, I overdid it. And so she was a candidate of those chronic diseases. But then, as the presenter was presenting, he mentioned about money. I told you I'm Kariuki Kamau. And where I come from, we are not allergic to money. So I got the opportunity right away. And I couldn't let it go. Why? Having worked for a couple of years, and having worked so hard, all the way to doctoral level and, teaching in the university, after 7 years of working, something was very clear. That the harder I worked, the broker I became. Anyone who has ever found themselves in that kind of cocoon, that you work so hard, but then you are lagging behind bills. That is what was happening. After 7 years of working, we didn't have anything that we could show for it. And they say in the Martinez is what? Doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different. And I'm sure I don't look like a mandy man. After earning all the money that we were earning, we could only pay bills and we were left with nothing. I decided I have to change my life. A time comes, dear friends, when you don't just accept what life hands over to you, but you decide to change it. I've heard people complain of the government, complain of so many things. While the real problem, look at the person seated on your chair. Look at the person seated on your chair. Not your neighbor, yourself. Now that is where the problem is. But the good news, the same person seated on your chair can decide from today, things gonna be different. Now, the beauty about our business is we don't have bosses who will try to press you down. You can go as far as you want. When we started with Pieros, we started very small. Now, that's the tricky bit about our business, that you must start small. We started small. Our first bonus was only 2,002 Kenya shillings. And my colleague lecturers were laughing at me because I was so excited. Then they would ask to see the bonus that is over-exciting me. And it was 2002. And then they would ask, oh, this is in dollars? Because how can it be in Kenya shillings? But then I never listened to them. Now, friends, our guests, when you start this business, please don't listen to naysayers. Did you know people will always talk? You start the business, they talk. You don't start, they will talk. So the best thing is, forget about what they will say and you start. Am I talking to somebody? So they talked. They told me, Josephat, this business is for people who have nothing else to do. In fact, they told me that business is for women. And I said, oh, that is why they are driving Range Rovers. I better be a woman and drive the Range Rover. You see, people have a way of demeaning you. But now, I have good news. That, yes, they will talk bad about it at the beginning. But later, they will look for you. In fact, the same people who tell you that you cannot do it, they will later tell you, I knew you can do it. So what am I trying to say? We started very small. 2002 Kenya shillings, our first bonus. But you see, our business is about talking to people. Not about hawking products. It's about talking to people. And I started talking to people. Some joined, others didn't join. But you know what? As people started joining the business, I couldn't even believe that in our 7th month. Now think about 7 months from now. Are you thinking about it? 7 months from now. We will still be in this year, am I right? Yes. And within 7 months, we were earning over 60,000 Kenya shillings, and my wife fired TSC. She fired her boss. Only 7 months. Mjinga akielevuka. Na sijaita mtu mjinga. You know what? In a year's time, I was earning more in this business than what the university was paying me. Is it about titles or money, my friends? It's about money, isn't it? Why should you have so big titles with nothing? In 2 years' time, no, 1 year time, we had already started driving ourselves. Now, I know you are wondering, you mean as a full-time lecturer in the university, you were not driving? Now, I was driving, but Route 11, you know, they call it Futsubishi. You know Futsubishi? You have not been ashamed if you are not asked by your students that they give you the lift. And you know it's raining, but you cannot accept such a deal. I used to pretend that I love walking, exercise. You know, here we are taught about exercise. But at the back of my mind, I knew, ni kuumana kilifanya nini? Kiliumana. So 1 year of building this business, I'm driving myself. 2 years, we stopped paying rent. We stopped paying rent. By the way, before you clap for me, you know what? I'm not only living in my own home here in Nairobi, but I have another one where I'm collecting rent. That is what can happen if you say yes to this business. And you know, we all have the opportunity to say yes. I don't know what happens really, that some people insist on no. But you see, when you say yes, you are saying yes to your dreams. And when you say no, you are saying no to your dreams. So make that wise decision today. And in 2 years, 11 months, we were president team members. And this is what happened. Why I will never forget that. We found ourselves now changing cars the way you change clothes. And now, not driving cars, but machines. You see, now, I'm driving that latest shape of Land Cruiser. The feminine one with the dibos. You know, I mean... Yes, and it is possible for you. It is possible for who? Do like this. And say, I can do it. Now, at night tonight, you might hear another voice telling you, Have you ever even owned a bicycle? But I want to challenge you. When that voice starts speaking, tell them that I don't want to care about the past. The past remains in the past. With this great opportunity, I'm going to achieve my dreams. Now, the other thing, I'm an educator. I hated seeing my children going to ordinary schools. And in fact, up to now, I'm still apologizing to one of my kids that I had taken to a school that one could not be sure whether it's a school or a church. I don't want to really mention because you might know where it is, but it is Isaac and Rebecca. Now, surely, you take your child to such a school, Isaac and Rebecca, and you expect them to really be unlocked here. See hata afadhali Abraham and Sarah. But you know what? With this opportunity, I couldn't be stopped from taking my children to the best schools. Naomi is saying that her biggest motivation is taking her daughter to international schools. Guess what? That is what is happening now to our children. They are in international schools. Because we don't care about the money, the cost. We care about the quality. So this business moves you from looking at, will I afford, to asking the question, which is the best school in the world? It can happen to you. It can happen to you. But then, I want all of us to agree on one thing, that we will not allow one major enemy that has crippled so many people from building their business and even starting this business. And that enemy is called F-E-A-R, fear. And we fear things that will never happen. My greatest fear was, how will I talk to people? But then, I decided I can learn the skill. And we'll teach you how to speak to people. Then I asked myself, if I manage to convince Pia Rose. You know, when we met with her first, because I discovered she might say no because I was so tiny. I was not even a complete 1 GB. I told her, my dear, my sweet potato, if you accept I marry you, you will never believe. Now, you know that is not very easy. And she said yes. Now, is this business more difficult than that? So, don't allow the fear of the unknown to stop you. While you are fearing to talk to people, you need to ask yourself, am I really fearing talking to people, or am I fearing going for my 1 million Kenya shillings per month? Because that is what you are fearing. Do like this with your left hand. Left hand. Now, that is fear. That is? Trash it down. Now, do on the other hand like this. That is courage. Bring it closer to your heart. Now possess it. So as we talk about starting this business, our guests, I want to believe that with that courage, you are going to say yes to the business. Don't fear about if I talk to people and they don't join. So what? Others are waiting. And when you start the business and people tell you it doesn't work, so what? You are the one to work out. And on your way up as you climb, you meet so many people who are telling you, I have been there. One lady told me when I started this business that her grandmother was also in this business. And I looked at myself. Do I look like a grandmother to somebody? I am original. What do you think? Are you not original? Are you not fearfully and wonderfully made? Are you not unique? So can we then go for our dreams no matter what others will say? Are we communicating? You cannot allow other people who have no dreams, who have no direction, to stop you from moving forward. Those who have read the book, Pilgrim's Progress, if you've not read it, go and take it and read. A very interesting book where someone was progressing to some Canaan, some promised land, and other people were coming back, and they were trying to persuade him to also go back. Don't allow anyone to stop you. But number 2, please know that you are investing in your future. You are not paying registration. Some people look at it at, how much should I pay to start? You are not paying anything. You are investing. Even if it was $500,000 in investment, guess what? From my heart, I would still encourage you to do it. Why? From when we started the business, 2 years, 11 months, we were already earning in excess of 700,000 Kenya shillings. I mean, and you are talking of paying how much? 9,200 Kenya shillings or thereabout, depending on the kit that you are taking. Is that not too little, ladies and gentlemen? And my last point is this. Please, don't belittle yourself. Don't belittle. The world is waiting for you. Literally. When I started the business with Puros, we started as one entity. But guess what? Today we have such a huge, dynamic team all over the world. So it's not about touching Kenya. It's not about changing Kenya. It is changing the world. Even if you're not going to start for money, please, because that is selfish. You know, when I started, I was selfish. I enjoyed to make money. But we must grow beyond that. We want to change the world. In Kenya, people are saying the economy is bad. Have you heard them say that? I'm sure no one among us has been saying that, because that's an insult. The economy is okay. Because while you are complaining of economy, are people importing machines? Are they raising flats? Are they traveling all over the world? On 22nd of May this year, we are flying to Cape Town. And if the economy of Kenya will not have changed, but ours is okay. You are responsible for your own economy. I don't want to shout so that they don't hear me. You are responsible for your own economy. I built this business, and in 5 years of building this business, I confidently walked into the corridors of Catholic University of Eastern Africa with a smart letter, and I fired my boss too. In 2015, I stopped being an employee. Yes, I'm not a scholar to be contained in a lecture hall. That is too small a confinement. Stop being confined in some office. Do you have people who are employed here? I can even see you from the way you are looking at me. I can tell who is employed. You are more than that. You are more than an employment. You are more than just a staff. Can you raise yourself? In fact, can you cut off the cords that pulls you back? And you say, enough is enough. We've got to change the world. But you know what? You cannot give the world what you don't have. And that is why. And Drew, I really want to thank you for this opportunity. He shared very powerful concepts on how we build this business. I challenge each one of us that we empower ourselves. I'm tempted to tell women to say, hey, hey, women. You know, today is International Women's. Let people know that women can live their dream lives by first empowering your men. Are we there? Where, you know, sometimes we also invite them for men conference. And, okay, I've not attended. I've been sending apologies. but then, we want to empower ourselves as men so that we can be able to empower other people out there. So what am I saying? This is the first day of our brand new future. This is our first day of our brand new future. But let me close by saying this. when you decide to change your life, then don't just be interested, be committed. Don't just be interested, be committed. Commitment means I might not have money to start the business, but I have decided whatever it takes, I'm going to start. Go and sell that TV or anything else to get the money to do what? To start. The only thing that is not allowed is stealing. Unless it's an idea that you are stealing. Like the one I'm giving you. You can steal the idea. Please, let us not have an excuse of money. Penyenia. Where there is will, there is a way. So don't be interested. Be committed. It's not a commitment if you cannot pay the price. So ask yourself, am I ready to pay the price today? How many of us are feeling like I am ready to pay the price? I'm ready to pay the price. If you are a guest, the price is very simple. Very little. The starting fee, which comes back to you in form of the kit. If you are a distributor, the sacrifice of time. I have heard people say, Haki, this is my year. This is my year. 2025 is my year. But then, they never commit time to build the business. You don't build the business by remote control. When you see some of us traveling all over the world and enjoying lifestyle in 5-star hotels, it is because at one point or the other, we sacrificed, we denied ourselves. Pierrot and I have spent sleepless nights at the beginning, but it is worth. Jim Rohn says you must suffer from one of these two sacrifices or pains, the pain of regret or pain of sacrifice. Which one would you rather take? Pain of sacrifice. And as I close, I want to say this. Let us never regret of not taking this opportunity seriously. You know what? 1 year from today, 2 people sitting here, our guests, please. Listen to this from my heart, our dear guests. 1 year from today, because 1 year will be over from today, you will either celebrate as you pull your bags in the airport, going for an international vacation, paid fully by Neolife International. Or, if you don't start, because 1 year will still be over, you will see others pulling their bags. Would you not rather pull your own bag than watch others pulling their bags to the airport? Then my challenge to all of you is start the business. And the rule is simple. The rule is simple. Start and never stop. Start and never stop. We are on a journey. My closing remark. We are on a journey. But we don't want to enjoy this journey alone. We want to encompass as many people as possible. So those who are willing and are ready, our guests, you are welcome. You will never regret. We've achieved all our dreams. And you're about to achieve your own dreams. So, let's decide that this is the starting point. Drew has promised you that when you join, you're not just getting the kit, but also aloe vera plus juice. Oh, it's here. By the way, even if you don't know what this one is, by the way, please, even if you didn't want to join, give me this one. Then we can talk. This is the best gift you can ever be given. But don't join because you have talked so nicely. Join because you feel from within your heart, this is what I've been looking for. If you feel this is what you've been looking for, then you are welcome. But guess what? We are going to hold your hands. We don't want you to just join and we leave you. We are going to walk together. And let me close by saying this. Don't just start the business to try and see whether it works. It has worked before. And so it will also work. If it has worked for us, it will work for? Someone is saying you. If it has worked for others, it will work for? So let's start. Don't bother with what others will say. Just God bless you so much. We'll be meeting in the beaches of the world. If you'll be there to be met, sit down with the person who invited you and let's get started. Thank you and God bless you. Please sit with the person who invited you so that they help you to get started.